Wow! Kevin the Weasel from out of nowhere coming left back at you. See, it's like right back at you, but from the other direction. That's why you didn't see it coming. The world's pretty crazy right now. You never know what to expect, except for Kevin's weekly album reviews. You can expect that every single week. Same time, same place, same channel. KWAR coming up in just a couple of minutes. But first, let's talk about food. Everybody around here knows I love food, that's no secret, but you know the only problem with food? Food's lazy. When was the last time food got up off the counter and came over to you so you could eat it? No, you have to walk over to it and do all the work. Kevin the Weasel's not a fan of work. What if you could just put wheels on it? Have all your snacks and goodies just roll over to you wherever you're at? What am I talking about, ladies and gentlemen? I'm talking about our big announcement this week. Ladies and gentlemen, the food truck is back in town. Let me tell you, folks, I am very excited. We haven't had the food truck come through in a couple of weeks, and boy, could it have not come by at a better time. Roll on down and pick yourself up some grub. Have yourself a party. Nothing like some good food to take your mind off of work, school, whatever else you got going on. I've got word that the truck is backing up to the loading dock at the grocery store right now, so form an orderly line at the entrance and stock up on all those necessities, whatever it is you need, flour, oil, bottled water. Good times to be had by all. Just remember the truck did come from across the river. The food should be fine, but use your common sense, folks. Don't make eye contact with the driver. Don't start a conversation. What am I saying? You folks are plenty smart. You must be pretty smart if you're listening to the Kevin the Weasel Show on 102.6 KRBR, your favorite mix of the hits and the classics. And you hear that music. That music means no more messing around. It's time for Kevin's weekly album review. KWAR coming up next. This week, we're reviewing a listener request from Matt, friend of the show. Matt, it's Mastodon, Blood Mountain. Mastodon's a little more out there than Drake. Not everyone may have heard of them. Good thing we've got our fact sheet prepared by intern Paige. Let's get a round of applause for Paige. Yeah, we got to get Paige on the album review sometime. She knows an awful lot about music. Here we go. Mastodon is a slime rock group from North Carolina, good old US of A. They derive their name from their lead singer, Donald Jameson, who is a red belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, hence the nickname Master Don, which was corrupted into Mastodon. That's a hell of an achievement. I barely have time to work, sleep, and cut firewood, and this guy's a martial arts expert and a rock star? Sounds like the hero in a cheesy 80s action movie. Mastodon broke into the mainstream in 2005 with the release of their concept album Levi, which was based on William Faulkner's novel The Great Gatsby. We've got some very literary rock and rollers here, ladies and gentlemen, but does their album live up to great expectations? See, Kevin's been hitting the books coming up with that Shakespeare joke for you. Anyways, the answer is yes. Yes, it absolutely does. I honestly love this album. I'm going to be honest, folks. Sometimes on the Kevin the Weasel Show, I review bad music because it's fun to laugh at, and hey, who doesn't love a good laugh? But this is just good music. Nothing to laugh at here. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's got just that perfect sprinkling of prog metal weirdness, but the hooks are still instantly catchy. Check out that main riff on the Grammy-nominated Colony of Birchmen. What is a Birchman? I don't really know. There's some kind of story in there about a werewolf climbing a mountain and dying in a snowstorm. Or something. Who cares anyway? Songwriting's great. Themes are great. Lots of stuff about being alone and isolated in a strange wilderness with supernatural stuff going on. Stuff we can all relate to, you know? Drumming in particular is fantastic. Not more complicated than it needs to be, but some very impressive and creative technical parts. Won't be everyone's speed for sure, but this thing is just really, really good sludge metal front to back. 12 songs, 12 hits. Except for Blade Catcher. Blade Catcher sucks. It sounds stupid. All that good stuff I said is true of all the songs except Blade Catcher. Don't listen to Blade Catcher. That makes it 11 out of 12. Still, reduce the fractions, carry the 2, and that still evens out to numerator 4, denominator 4. 4 out of 4 stars for Mastodon's Blood Mountain. You might not like it, but you don't have to, because in the Weasel Burrow, the Weasel is king, and his word is law. Speaking of the Weasel Burrow, if you've got any comments, suggestions, snarky remarks, or shoutouts, head on over to facebook.com/102.6 Weasel Burrow and leave me a comment. Let me know what you'd like to hear me review next. Now it's time to dive into a very special edition of our listener mailbag.
Will Tommy in your mailbag?
Remember, of course, that every edition of the listener mailbag is a special edition because you, the listeners, are what make this show special. Today, let's see what we've got. We have this voicemail that was left on our line just before the show started. Let's see what this is all about.
Hey, Kevin. This is Greg from the gas station, you know. I've been enjoying the show. I like how positive you're staying, and I like the music. Yeah, if you could play Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, I'd really appreciate that. I could really use a feel-good song right now. Just with everything that's been going on, and all the rain, and yeah. Things have been kind of rough. My whole family actually called from out of town to wish me a happy birthday. So, yeah, Don't stop me now, if you get to it.
That's yeah. Sorry to hear that, Greg. We do like to keep things positive here on the Kevin the Weasel show, but struggling a little bit for a positive spin on that one. Yeah, nobody wants a phone call like that. We'll queue up Don't Stop Me Now right after this break. This one's for you, Greg. Feel better, buddy. After the music, we got Kevin's Countdown this week. 10 hit songs you never knew were secretly about table tennis. This is the Kevin the Weasel show on 102.6 KWAR. See you on the flip side.